Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Courageous Leadership with Virginia Prodan. I am your host, Virginia Prodan. I am here to answer your questions, and I'm so grateful for you sending us your question. I am here to answer your question. Many of you have the same question, and I am not surprised. Why is there so much violence in America? Indeed, America is at the crossroad. If you look at the headlines about mass shooting, domestic violence, riots, growing fear in the community, violence touches everyone and every part of our society. It's a crisis that demands honest answer, a deep reflection, and most importantly, real solution. So I am glad for all of you who send me this question. I have lived under a brutal socialist and communist regime in Romania, where violence was a tool of oppression. Many of you might know or have read the book Saving My Assassin. It's my memoir. You can find the book at virginiaprodanbooks.com/product/book. Yes, I live under a brutal communist regime that use violence as a tool of oppression. Coming to America, I expected freedom and peace. But what we see nowadays, is a society wrestling very hard, wrestling with violence, a different kind, rooted in fear, brokenness, and spiritual decay. That's America today. It's sad. It's so sad. When I came to America more than 35 years ago, America was different. Today, I want to explore the roots of violence in America and answer your question, the cultural and spiritual forces behind the violence, and what we can do as individuals and as a nation to reverse this dangerous trend. The roots of violence in America are based in broken family and lost values. We have to admit that violence rarely starts with a single act. In fact, often begins at home. Our society has seen a dramatic breakdown of family structure. Many kids grow up now without a stable family, love, guidance, discipline, and that creates a vacuum in their lives. This vacuum often gets filled with anger, resentment, and hopelessness. When moral value and respect for life erode, no wonder how violence becomes an outlet of frustration. The loss of our fundamental values, Christian values, like discipline, respect, accountability, has created a fertile ground for conflict. And in many ways, today, our society doesn't know how to resolve a conflict other than by violence. We have cultural shift away from God. This country was built on Judeo-Christian values, but many Americans drift away from God, from Judeo-Christian values, and we lost the moral compass that once we had. Without that compass, chaos and violence increase. When society celebrates self-will and reject absolute truth, people begin to justify violence as a means to an end. And it's sad. because we lose sight of human dignity and sanctity of life. Media and entertainment influence very much the violence in America. The glorification of violence in movie, or TV, many of young people not being supervised by their parents spend lots of time on video game, violent video game. Social media desensitizes people. Those who all together create an atmosphere where violence, it's special for younger minds. It's the reality that will impact their lives. Spiritual warfare and the darkness behind the violence, it's important. We are in a spiritual battle every single day. Violence is not only physical, it's spiritual. The Bible describes a spiritual battle ranging around us. Just read Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the ruler, against the authorities, against the power of the darkness. And the evil one, the father of lies, destruction, seeks to divide and destroy all of us. Fear, it's also used by the evil one as a tool that drives violence in the life of many people. When people live in fear, whether fear of others, fear of the government, fear of the future, fear of their financial situation, they are most likely to lash out. Fear brings suspicions, anger, and violence. Today, fear divides our communities and incite violence. Like I mentioned, many ways, young people don't know how to resolve their conflict by talking with each other. They use violence. And for that reason, many of them lost hope and purpose in life. And without hope, people turn to destructive behavior, to violence. When life feels meaningless, violence becomes an expression of pain and despair. This connects directly, special to young people that don't have a father example in their life, or their mother, single mother raising them, have to work several jobs, and many of them are by themselves at home. But the question is, we understand, and by what I explain to you, this is what violence is and why we have violence. And we have to recognize, in order to resolve a problem, we have to understand that problem. So the question is, what can we do to turn the tide? Because there is hope. First of all, we have to restore the family and our lost values, our Judeo-Christian values. We must start at home, each one of us, and in our communities. Strong families rooted in love, disciplines, and faith are the first defense against violence, and we have to take that into consideration. Parents, mentors, and community leaders must commit themselves to teach respect, self-control, and accountability to their own children and to others in the community. It's something that we can do and something that we can start today. The second thing that we can do is to return to God and His truth. America healing depends on returning to God, to His love, the God of Bible, who has the moral foundation and sources of peace. In His presence, in God's presence, there is joy and peace. Only God can transform the hearts and mind the heal broken hearts and replace violence with love. Romans 12:21 says, "Do not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." We cannot do that by ourselves. We have to let God work in us and through us so He can bring that transformation. We need, number 3, we need to speak truth and promote peace. We need courageous voices that will speak truth in a society and a culture that is darker and darker, that does not accept anymore the forever truth of Jesus Christ, but they believe in their own truth as a justification of violence or a deprived life. Media, churches, schools, and leaders, it's time for us to promote peace, reconciliation, and the dignity of every human life, and teach the next generation how to respond to confrontation with love, with talking with each other and not being violent. We can pray and engage spiritually. We can pray for those people that don't accept what we are trying to tell them, that God will be the one that will change their lives and their mind. For that, encourage community together and pray for peace and to stay firm in faith. Here are a few actions, practical actions that you can do. First of all, start with your family. Start to talk with your kids about violence. Start to talk with the kids about how to respond to conflict and how to be a peacemaker, how to bring peace in a confrontational situation, even in a violent situation. Then support community programs that mentor young people. Maybe you have a family, mother and father, your kids are doing well, but there is an opportunity and a possibility that you can create a community type of program that will mentor young people that are in trouble, that don't have both parents, or like I said, maybe the single mom works several jobs in order to support them. Many of them are by themselves at home. Whatever you can create, you will be an example, supporting community, and others will create maybe another community programs like you. The other thing that you can do is advocate for policy that strengthen families and protect life. Be an example for others, for young people that want to build a family. Support them. Teach them about that a family is a team that works together, that we as a family, we're supposed to live together and have Christ as the center of our family. And it takes work in a family to keep a family together. Many young people go to idea that a family will grow by itself, everything will be resolved, and when they get to a point that they have troubles and they don't understand each other, they decided that it's time maybe just to divorce. Take the time and help young people that would like to be married, or they are already married, and you can improve their lives. Give them examples from your own life, how you resolved the problems, how you kept your family so far together. Another thing that you can do is build bridges across division through dialogue and services. See the need somewhere and be a helper. Be God's tool for that bridge between divisions through dialogue and services. As I mentioned, violence in America is a symbol of deeper issues: broken family, lost values, spiritual darkness, and fear. But there is hope. You and I have a role to play in turning this tide by embracing God's truth, restoring family and community, working together and standing courageously and creating peace in a place of violence, living with a purpose to be a peacemaker. We can be the change America desperately needs. I encourage you to pray, act, and lead by example. You can be a tool in God's hands, and He can change your family, He can change your community, and He can use you that others can follow your example. Do not wait for others to do the thing. You start first. Together we can help America find the way back from violence to victory. Yes, it is possible, because with God all things are possible. And I hope that your question, why there is so much violence in America, its answer. Remember, violence in America is a symptom of deeper issues: broken family, lost values, spiritual darkness, and fear. But we can win against this by our example, by living for Christ, by living to be an example for others, a peacemaker, by creating bridges across division through dialogue and services, by advocating for policy that strengthen family and protect life, by supporting community programs that mentor youth people. Everything is possible. I hope to hear from you, and I hope you will tell me which one of those practical actions you took and how God helped you to be an example in your community, how God changed your life and the life of your community. Until next time, make sure you read my memoir, Saving My Assassin, so you can find it at virginiaprodanbooks.com/book, and you can find how God can use one person to change a country. He used me to change Romania from a socialist communist country to a democratic country. He can use you and me to change violence in America into peace, joy, a joyful place to live, and creating bridges across division through dialogue and services. Until next time, God bless you. Don't forget to send us your questions or to tell us how God used you and use those practical tools in your life and your community. Until next time, bye-bye.